This weekend we'll see the 93rd 24 Hours of Le Mans event take place in France, and we're delighted to be joined live by someone who will be taking part, not just someone actually, former F1 world champion, now driver for Cadillac Hertz Team Jota, Jenson Button, joins us live on Drive. Jenson, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are we all?
We are very well. Thank you for coming on our show. We're big fans of yours. Are you good? You well? You look good.
I'm good, mate. Can I just pick you up on something?
Oh, I pronounced the name of your team wrong, didn't I?
You did that wrong as well. It's Jota.
What is it? Jota, right? Okay, yeah.
Jota, but it was more the former F1 world champion. You know that you never lose it, right? You always stay a world champion.
Is it like being a president?
Exactly, just like being a president. Okay. So you have to formally call me Jenson Button, Formula One world champion.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
So let me ask you then, Jenson, because of that mistake, you have to tell me the answer to the question. The person that made that mistake on my script, would you like them sacked now or after the show?
Oh, after. They should have to have to watch this.
Just hold on one second. Tell One World Billy to meet me at 7:01. Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. Jenson, thanks so much for coming on. That's all we got time for, I'm afraid.
Yeah, awesome.
I've got lots to talk to you about, right? Because my knowledge of Le Mans isn't that great at all, and I'm fascinated by the fact that someone who got to the very top of a tree in one particular sport is trying his hand at another. Before we talk about you racing this weekend, can you just tell me which is harder? Because I'm curious, because this is more of a team event, right? But you're going on for longer. Which do you consider a more difficult sport?
It depends. I mean, an F1 race is tough, right? It's unbelievably physical, the cars, but it only lasts for an hour and a half. Whereas we do 24 hours. Wow. There are 3 drivers. But to be fair, when you're in the car, it feels like you're jet lagged every time. Because, you don't know when you're going to be in the car. Maybe you're in the car at 6 p.m. Maybe it's 1 a.m. in the morning or 7 a.m. So it's all over the place. So I think mentally, this is tougher. You're jumping in the car after sleeping at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's dark, bright lights everywhere. So, yeah, this is more taxing, I would say.
Listen, we always hear a lot about this race. Every time it comes around, it seems to be everywhere. Why is Le Mans so special?
I think it's the teamwork. This is such a team sport. You have some of the best and biggest manufacturers in the world racing here. And the mechanics, the engineers, strategists, everyone involved is working not just for 24 hours, but they're working the day before the race starts. So they're not sleeping for kind of like 35 to 40 hours. So it's massively draining. When you do cross that finish line or you win the race, which hopefully we will, the celebration is immense because there's so much adrenaline, so much emotion. You've put yourself through a lot physically and mentally.
Jenson, excuse my ignorance, right, when it comes to this next question, but is it a little bit like the F1 in terms of the car, like the budget on the car? Has everyone got to be the same?
So the difference here is you have balance of performance, BOP as they call it. So they try and fit the cars into a box in terms of regulations so that every car can be competitive. Obviously, there are some that will have a slight advantage to others just because it's worked that way for this type of track. But we have 22 cars on the grid, and I would say every car on that grid has a chance to be in the top 6 or 7, I would say. A lot of it comes down to strategy, not making mistakes, which is difficult in a 24-hour race, and just optimizing what they have.
I'm fascinated by this. Earlier on, you said that you don't know what time you're next in the car. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that not all set out before any of you get in the car then?
You do have it set out. So you've got the 3 drivers, and then you'd have you do a triple stint. A stint's 45 minutes, for example, and you do a triple. But the problem is, at Le Mans, it's never that straightforward. So weather could be in the mix, or someone bins it and runs out of talent at some moment in time. And that means there's a safety car or something else to slow the race down. Then they tend to leave a driver in the car a bit longer. So it changes all the way through the race. So at the moment, for example, I'm supposed to be doing sunset. How romantic. Which is cool. which is a really cool part of the race. Apart from half the circuit, it's the sun's in your eyes. But normally if you're set out to do sunset, you don't do sunset because it works that way with the schedule where there's always an incident or something.
Are you allowed, between 4 and 7, are you allowed, if it was a weekday race, are you allowed to have the radio on, listen to Drive on talkSPORT?
Oh, I mean, why would I not want to do that?
That's a very good question.
Buy time off and rest.
Presumably, you are connected to whoever's in the garage, right? Giving you instruction. You're not just on your own for however long you're in the car.
When we're out on the track, you've got one person that'll speak to you, which is your engineer, and whether it's to tell you there's a slow zone coming up. So a slow zone, basically, if someone has gone off, there's a start point and a finish point to that slow zone, and it's 80 kilometers an hour. So you've got to get the button ready. It's a limiter. You sit 80 k's for that period, and then you're off it again, and you're off racing. But also when you're out the car, we've all got motorhomes here, so we all go and try and sleep between our runs, and it's tough, right? Because you've got so much adrenaline, and you also want to know how well the car's doing. So you're looking at your phone to see where you are in the race. So we try our best to relax and have the same schedule when we're out the car. We've got physios that look after us. They also wake up us when they need to, give us a massage, feed us, caffeinate us. Is that? I don't know. That's not how you say it, is it?
I think caffeinate. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's ready to go in the car, and then just plonk you in the car, and you're off. So it's intense, but that's why we love it. There's so much going on over the 24 hours.
It's certainly a nuts race. Last time out, you got a top 10 finish. So what are the major differences do you think about you this time round?
Yeah, last year there were 23 cars racing. We both our cars were in the top 10, so 8th and 9th on the lead lap, which is a big deal after 24 hours. We didn't have the outright pace, but I think as a team we did a really good job. This year, you have to be aiming for the win. Do we have the outright pace? I think the Ferraris and the Toyotas, looking at testing, looked a bit quicker, but yeah, it's 24 hours. So who knows who's going to come out on top? But the great thing is we're in it. And that's the thing. We come into this race knowing that we have a chance to be fighting at the front, and that's a big deal.
Yes. Do you think if you win this Le Mans, it will equal obviously what you did in 2009, which in the Formula One championships?
It's different. If you're going to compare it to a race, this race probably means more to us than any other race, or to me anyway. Winning Monaco Grand Prix was amazing. But most of the work's done on Saturday and qualifying, getting on the front row. And it's a 1.5 hour race. Here it's 24 hours. So if I could win here, I think for a one-off race, this would be the biggest win ever. But nothing's going to be winning the World Championship for me.
What sort of speeds do you get up to, and what's the money like if you win it?
Speeds, we're doing 345 Ks, which is 220 miles an hour.
Wow.
What, in one stretch you're doing 215?
Yeah, there's a lot of straights there as well.
How long will you keep that speed up for before you've got to put your foot on the brake?
Well, normally, they always go, you just keep going quicker, right? Obviously until a point. But we hit that speed probably 3-4 times around the track.
Oh my
It's a long track. It's like 8 miles long, the track.
Yeah. Does it ever get boring? You're doing the same thing for 24 hours?
It's definitely not boring.
It's not. Okay.
It's definitely not. Is your job, if you did it for 24 hours, be boring or?
Yeah.
Very lucky I've got a fun job there.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. But I suppose because you're concentrating, you're concentrating for. It must be so tough for you guys to keep that level of concentration up for such a long time. And it's not just about you; it's a team game, right? That's why things like the Ryder Cup, they're so different to normal golf play. So that's another thing that weighs you down.
Definitely, and also there's 60 of us out on track. So there's 3 different categories. You've got the hypercars, which is us. There's 21 of us, 22 of us, can't remember. And then you've got the LMP2 cars, which they look like us, but they're a bit slower. And then GT cars, like your road cars with big wings on, if you like. And they're very different in speed. So we are fighting through that the whole time, overtaking different cars. So you might have the perfect race, but if someone messes up in front of you and you end up in the back of them, it's destroyed your race. So it's not all down to us as a team entirely. We can be unlucky or lucky as well in traffic.
Right, Jenson, I want to speak to you a little bit now about Formula One, because we know that obviously the calendar was released today. The Madrid street race makes its debut in 2026. Do you like seeing more street races, street track, should I say, in the F1 nowadays?
I'm not racing, so yes, I love it. I think for the fans, it's really cool. I think, when it's in a city, it makes it really exciting. This all comes off of everyone loving Monte Carlo, Monaco. It's a glamorous race. You've got people in the grandstands, people on balconies. You've got people on boats watching the race. So we've kind of added a lot of street circuits to the calendar. probably because that is such a cool race. Street tracks are tricky in terms of getting the right balance with safety, straight line speed, overtaking opportunities, a fun track for the drivers. But I think we've done it enough now that we understand what works. I think the last couple of street tracks have been very good. I think that we have to be careful with the balance of purpose-made tracks and street courses. You know, every driver will say they love Spa, high-speed, flow-in, Silverstone, Suzuka in Japan. Those are special tracks. As long as they stay on the calendar, I'm all for a couple more races that are street courses.
Sadly, F1 world champion, the greatest ever in my opinion, Jenson Button. Our time's up. We have met before. You probably don't remember, but we met about.
Oh yeah, we did. I remember. That was No, I can't.
You can't.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
Right. Well, do you know what, Jenson? I'm not going to tell you when it was, and maybe
Come
it'll
on,
play.
tell me. I want to know. Was it good?
It was Soccer AM about 17 years ago, and you're on a go-kart with someone else in the car park there.
I remember. I do remember, actually.
You're such a liar.
No, I do, because that's the only time I've done anything to do with football.
Oh, okay.
My life.
Well,
No, it was a special occasion.
Jenson, we like you. You're annoyingly cool, and I'd like to become like one of your best mates. If you're ever in London, we'd be honoured to have you in the studio for a proper chat.
Amazing.
Would that be
Nice
right?
to meet you guys. Yes. It'd be nice to see your face as well.
Oh, he's so nice, isn't he? Too nice. Too nice.
Love that.
No, just you.
F1 champion of the world, the greatest driver in my opinion ever, Jenson Button. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck at the weekend. Not that you need it, you can absolutely smash it and come first. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Jensen.
Thanks, man. There you go, Jenson Button. You call him Jensen?
Yeah, I love that.
Well, Jensen.
Hey, from one world champion to another, like
What
that.
do you mean Jensen?
What he said there at the end, I like that as well.
What was that? You want to see my
No,
face?
he doesn't remember you.
No, he didn't remember me. Of course, he don't remember me. No,
I told you off at the start. You're just getting beat up by everyone today.
Yeah, it's nice being. He was incredibly cool, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a cool guy, though.
Yeah, very cool.